when families contact me, it's either through social media, so I'm pretty active on Facebook and Instagram, or through a Google search usually, which brings up my website, and I get an email often 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning from families. Sadly, mum is often saying, we really need your help. This is yet another night of me being awake in the middle of the night with my child. So one way or another, often I receive a reach out message from a family. I respond with the option for them to have an initial free of charge phone call with me, so that I can hear exactly what's happening with their child's sleep, and they can understand a little bit more about me and how I work, and get a sense of whether I would be a good fit for them as a family. If following that initial call they decide that they would like to go ahead and hire me, then the next step is for me to email them my initial questionnaire, which is an opportunity for them to share in more detail the circumstances around their day and their child's day and the scheduling that they have in place, as well as any methods that they currently use to get their child to sleep, and basically what's going on around the sleeping time. And that information is returned to me in order for me to write a sleep script for them. So part of the service that I offer is a schedule and how-to instruction manual for them to use to sleep train their child. So I'll use the information in the questionnaire, I'll overlay that with what I know is appropriate for a child of the age of their particular child, and put all that together for them, which normally takes 24 to 48 hours depending on how busy I am and other client commitments. And then at the moment, my next step of the process is to email that to them and ask them to keep to read it and spend 24 hours sort of considering what the instructions look and feel like for them before we have our consultation. So it's just an opportunity for them to understand exactly what they will need to do as parents once we start the implementation of the sleep training. And then we schedule a consultation call where I will go through with them from top to bottom the sleep plan that I've already sent them, so that both they've got it in writing and they experience it live with me in a training session, which is normally around 90 minutes of us talking through all of the aspects of the sleep plan, plus how they think their child will respond, or how they perceive their reactions will be, or what challenges they think it may present, so that they feel fully prepared and empowered to start the sleep training on night 1. And then they go ahead and start night 1, and assuming that I have no other commitments, I'm available to them via message on night 1 in case there's any unexpected challenges that they experience, which we didn't cover during our consultation or isn't in the sleep plan. And then we would have a follow-up call the subsequent day, so on day 1 essentially, where we would go through how last night went. I will get their feedback, they will describe how their child reacted and how they responded, and I will just give them any guidance that they need to know before they go ahead and tackle night 2. So the consultation call is about preparing them but homing in on night 1, so that they don't have to think on that call, what am I going to do on day 4, what am I going to do on night 6, what am I going to do on day 7. They can really relax about what's going to happen in the next subsequent days and focus in on night 1, and then I will speak to them the next day on day 1, and then we would follow up on day 2, and we'd follow up every day thereafter during the time that they've hired me for, which is usually 2 weeks, so that they feel they've got someone to reassure them, they feel they've got someone to celebrate success with them. Often I'm pointing out progress and areas in which the big improvements have been made that maybe the parent is not realising because either they're subtle or the parent's expectations around the speed of the progress is different to the actuality. It's a time for parents to air their concerns, it's a time for parents to just share with me how they're feeling. So my role in that is basically motivator, but also very key to give the parent the sense that they know this is a normal level of progress for a child of that age, based on my experience of working with 250 families over the 3 years I've been doing this.